2, 3, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of these crazy people that just eat meat and can't stop talking about it. I'm Tom Clark. Got Justin Giebler, Joe Zumbo, and Emily dropped back by. Haven't seen much of Emily the last year or so. She's been a busy girl.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but she managed to pop in and say hello. So, hey, Emily, what's it say here? You got a big interview coming up.
Yeah, I get to talk to Kelly Hogan on Instagram Live. I literally just threw the dice and just sent her a message and was like, "Hey, would you want to maybe talk to me on Instagram Live?" Thinking she was going to be like, "Oh, that's sweet. That's cute, but no, I don't have time." And she said yes. So I can't wait to talk to her.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to start hounding her too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten a chance to talk to Kelly. That'd be
She
great.
is so dynamic. Like she is, and I love how she takes things and just makes them so simple. And she's just so fun to watch and to talk to. Well, I've never talked to her before, but I would assume she's fun to talk to.
You like it the way she's talking at you through the screen.
Yes. I feel like she's talking to me.
Yeah, she is very personable, even when she's not actually talking to you. Yeah.
She's just really relatable and just down to earth, and like I really, really like her. I think a lot of people can really relate to her.
And she has like an A+ Southern accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's in North Carolina.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. As we can't wait to watch it. When is it again, Emily?
Thursday, March 31st at 11 a.m. Central.
11 a.m. Central. So that's 9 Pacific and 12 Eastern. And Joe, I don't know what time that is.
It'd be Friday at really early in the morning.
Yeah.
when everyone's sleeping.
Yeah, like super early in the morning. But
well, if you truly love Emily and you truly love Kelly Hogan, I'm sure our international fans can stay up late or just don't sleep. Who needs sleep?
Watch the replay. It's going to be on Instagram. It's at Carnivore Minds on Instagram.
Joe's an insomniac anyways. You don't sleep.
Yeah, you seem to do fine on 5 hours for some reason. You seem to do well. Like if you're as long as you get enough sleep equal to the amount of hours that you're on the bike that day, you seem to do well. That's the pattern I've noticed. As long as they equal out.
If I blink, I've slept.
That's great.
Yep. So, you've been able to train it all, Joe?
Yeah, I went out yesterday.
The weather's been rough there, right?
Oh, it's terrible. It's really bad. It just hasn't stopped. The weather, it hasn't stopped raining here. It's just, it's quite bad. I managed to do 5 sessions last week, which is okay. They were a bit short, but I was crook the week before.
Translate that. You were crook?
What's crook?
Right. Okay. I wasn't well. I was ill.
Really?
The week before. Yeah.
That's
I had the Rona.
The pestilence.
He was under quarantine.
I was in quarantine for a week, 7 days. Yeah.
In Australia, when they put you in quarantine, they put you in a roo's stomach. So he had to be not in the stomach, but in the little pouch. So you have to have a little kangaroo take you around.
Yeah.
That's quarantine in Australia.
That's worse than the jokes I make. What the hell?
Bloody Justin. But I will say I did recover very quickly. So within about 3 days, I was completely over it.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That was good.
Excellent.
So glad.
Yeah, I'm sure you were climbing the walls like a freaking gecko.
Well, I was sitting in my room patiently waiting for a police chase, and nothing happened until the last day, and it was a dud anyway. So it is what it is. What it is.
Yeah, for all you fans of Joe Zimbo out there, his favorite thing is watching police chases in LA. So if you're in the mood and you want to entertain Joe, just get the cops to chase you down the freeway for a while.
Yeah, just jump on a freeway and don't stop.
Well, commit a crime first. I mean, you got to commit a crime,
Well,
then jump. Yeah, at least a little B&E,
Steal some catalytic converters.
Oh, catalytic converters. So my niece up in Northern California just got the catalytic converter stripped off her truck, and she was stranded somewhere. She was supposed to go do an art show, and she couldn't. Yeah, bit of a mess. Much love, Christina. I love you, niece. But yeah, sorry to hear. Yeah.
Hey, most cars still run without them. They're just really, really loud.
So they sound like tractors.
Yeah, you might go deaf driving down the street, but you can usually get somewhere. Yeah. And unfortunately, trucks, they're typically easier to steal because you just climb underneath. You don't even have to jack the truck up like you do a normal car. So,
We should say hi to the little crowd. We're getting hi, Christina. Hi, Ban Palores. Hi, T Mach 5.
Parlous. Can't you read?
Parlaus. I talk in between a Vietnamese person, a Mexican person, and an Englishman.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Remember, our show is multicultural, and I'm all
right.
the multi, and I'm all the cultural.
That's right. All the cultural.
And no, you're not late. We're late. So have you ever watched live streams before? See, we're not fancy enough to have live stream music that goes for 10 minutes and then people start talking. So what we have to do is we have to do witty banter for the first 10 minutes while the crowd comes in.
Crowd builds.
And then, I'm like, it's kind of like an opener. It's the opening act before we get to the subject matter. We will get there. Don't worry. But
I've been meaning to ask T Mach 5 if he realized my dog's name was Trixie. Wonder if he put 2 and 2 together, because we're probably the only 2 Speed Racer fans here.
Hey, I love Speed Racer.
Oh, okay. So there's 3 of us. So we outnumber most of the people here.
Go Speed Racer, go. But yes, we will be talking about calcification at some point in the evening. Hey, ADS is here. Great to see you, ADS.
Yeah, and Ban Parlos mentioned that he got his name from Star Wars. So there you go.
Oh, hey, the best science fiction space trilogy, or I guess it's only a novel, is Starship Troopers. So there you go. That's my answer to that.
I don't know. We'll let you have it. I won't argue with you here about that. But for sure, we will have words later.
Well, Star Trek Enterprise is, of course, amazing. Also, Voyager is also good. Oh, no, Deep Space Nine. Voyager was cool. Deep Space Nine was cool.
You're hurting me a little bit there.
I'm a millennial, all right? We didn't have the original Star Trek. That's for like old fogey people like you.
Okay.
Tom's got them on VHS in black and white.
No, I do have a grainy copy on VHS somewhere of of Star Wars, the first one that came out, which is 5 or whatever the first one was. Yeah, my girlfriend had never seen it, and I was like, "Hey, look, I found this old VHS tape," and I played it in. I was like, "Wow, look at how horrible the quality is of this tape!" Oh my god, woo! She still enjoyed it.
And then turned into a porno halfway through.
Yeah, every once in a while, because I'd record it over a porno. Yeah, that Battlestar Galactica they did 2005 was pretty good. I'm noticing the comment from T Mach 5 there.
Right.
Yeah. Does anybody else watch The Expanse? That's probably one of the greatest TV outer space, and it blows everything away. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not the first person that's recommended that to me. Well,
I
you
think
were the first person actually, and then someone else recommended it as well. I said sometimes I also say my sentences backwards. So
I think
why
that
am
was
I allowed on here again? Sometimes I forget.
purely entertainment value because
Ah,
we can count on you making words up like chicken sink and blood deuces. And I wish I had a list of them all because they're priceless. And I'm sorry that they've escaped into the ether.
the
Have to go back and watch.
Justinisms.
Just gonna have to go back and watch them all and write them down.
There you go.
Many years of.
Well, someone's got to give our channel views and likes. Might as well be us.
Yeah, Ben Parlos mentioned Dune, and it's like I think they're making Dune again. I saw some sort of commercial. My girlfriend.
It's out.
Didn't they
It's
just
on
make it?
HBO Max. Yeah.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. Yeah, my girlfriend was, "What's Dune?" She's reading the ad, and it made no sense because she had no idea what Dune was. And I'm like, "Well, it's like this movie that they remake every 10 years."
The one that controls the spice controls it all.
that was Frank Herbert. I wrote that. I think.
I think it's in here somewhere. Someone commented, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. They're pretty good. I remember the one with Sting was in it. He played one of the bad guys. If you guys, anybody
I think
fan of
that's
the Police
from like the 80s, right? That's the
Yeah,
one from
cool.
the 80s.
early
Sting.
90s, late 80s.
Early, yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, I finally watched Heavy Metal, like that cartoon or
You've
whatever.
never seen heavy metal before?
I'd actually never seen Heavy Metal before. Can you believe
Wow.
it? It is dated. I will say that.
Mm.
I mean, it's
20
cool.
24th of September, you're going to see heavy metal.
Yeah, that too. Ramstein. Yes, can't wait.
Joe's coming to California in September.
Yay!
Justin's gonna hop on over. Just so happens Rammstein's playing the Coliseum in LA.
The day that I land.
He's gonna get off.
And we're going.
How long is your flight? Like how long?
15 hours or something?
14, 15 hours.
15 hours. He's gonna get off the plane.
Go in and
Okay.
out. Go to in and
You're
out.
gonna go to In and Out and wait
That's
for In and Out
straight
to
away.
open because In and Out opens like 3 hours after he gets here. So I suppose he'll be napping in the parking lot. Then we're gonna fill him up with burgers. Probably let him have another nap. We're
And
gonna
another burger.
We got little outfits worked out. We're gonna wear leather shorts and bulletproof vests. I think is what we decided. on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to wear the leather pants like Prince with the butt cheeks cut out, though.
Oh, the
my
ass jack.
gosh.
You wear your chaps, of course. Got to.
Emily, you a big fan of Rammstein?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's what I figured. Don't worry, we'll send you links.
Okay, sounds good.
She's a fan of Shanice.
I have no idea who that is.
She sang that song. I love your smile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know who that is. I know who that is.
New Kids on the Block. All those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Parlos mentioned that David Lynch Dune had Sting in it, and it also had what's his name, the guy that was in Twin Peaks, right? What's his name? Yeah,
David, not David. Someone.
it could be David.
Look it up, Tom. You got the computer there.
Looking stuff up. Oh, look, it heard me. It's showing me ads for leather shorts and bulletproof vests already.
Good Google. Good Amazon. Thanks for listening. Is that your own personal CIA agent or one of ours? Or FBI agent, I guess?
Kyle MacLachlan. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah. Dune, 1984. It's a pretty good movie. If I haven't seen it in a long time. Of course, it's probably too dated for Justin, but yeah, Frank Herbert, like I thought. I don't even know how I remembered that. But yeah, Sting's in it. So, and then wasn't there another one that had a later one that had was it Liam Neeson was in it or something?
Now we're on this Dune rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I only know Dune because I played the game for PlayStation.
Of course.
It was like a strategy. Like I didn't even know the story or anything. It was like a military strategy game. And at the time I was all into like military strategy games. And so, yeah, that's the only reason why I know about it is from the video game, and that the spice was very important. That's pretty much all the knowledge.
Right. I guess on the new one, I guess Jason Momoa is going to be in it again in another movie. Going to be in the new Dune. Interesting.
What was that really weird movie that had Jim Carrey and Jason Momoa in it?
And Keanu Reeves.
And Keanu Reeves.
It was called The Bad Batch.
Yeah, The Bad Batch. One of the weirdest freaking movies.
Yeah, if anybody out there wants to watch a really weird movie,
that you're like, who casted this? Why it works, but it's the weirdest.
Believe who's in it, and you can't believe what's going on. You're like, what the heck?
People are eating people. It's carnivore. It's a carnivore approved movie.
True. Yeah.
We need to make a list of top 10 carnivore movies. So you have Raw. I think Raw is number 1 carnivore movie.
Is anybody else here seen that? I don't know that movie.
You do know that movie.
Me and
you both watched it. Yeah, Raw. It was the French film. At least I think it was French. It was international for sure. Where that girl went to school. Remember the college?
Yeah. It's from 2016. Raw.
Yeah,
that's right.
Raw.
Yeah, I just forgot the name of it. Yeah, that wasn't that long ago we watched it.
Yeah.
All right, maybe people out there want to suggest some other
carnival movie. Underworld.
Underworld. That's like vampires and werewolves eating each other.
Yeah,
that's pretty carnivore.
Does Texas Chainsaw Massacre count?
I don't know. They eat people.
Or House of 1,000 Corpses.
I know it's Emily strangely quiet.
I don't
She's
know.
waiting for the conversation to start.
She doesn't watch the movie. Come on.
I don't have anything to add.
Em's a good girl. She doesn't watch
violent
films.
You could crack a joke here and there.
I got nothing.
For people that are familiar, what do you eat? What do you typically eat, Emily?
Raw meat.
She doesn't even wince when she says it anymore. There used to be this slight delay, but now it's just like raw meat.
It's just who I am.
Like nothing.
I was at raw fat every day.
I'm directing a feature film starring Emily. She's just sitting in a chair at a table in a fur coat eating raw meat for 12 hours.
No, I've got it down to an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
I eat 90 minutes. Hour and a half every day.
Perfect. That's perfect for wide release. 90 minutes of Emily eating raw meat.
I do need to make a video. I need to make a video.
Well, let me direct it.
What I eat. Okay. Sounds good.
Can't wait. Planet Terror. Anybody seen that?
Yeah, Planet Terror is a good one for a carnivore movie. Yeah. That's Del Toro, if I remember right, Planet Terror. It was like a double feature. I forget what the other movie that they played with it though was.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, if I remember right. Metallica is okay, not as good as Rammstein, but I think saying it should just be James Hetfield with a drum machine is kind of insulting.
Should I tell the story of the food fight I started at a Metallica concert?
Sure. Was it carnivore related? Was it a carnivore food fight?
No, they were throwing other junk food around, so it didn't matter. But I went to see Korn and Metallica at the Coliseum. Oh, the Revenant, even bears eating people. Yeah, that's pretty carnivore.
Yeah, there you go.
So we were waiting for Korn to come on. They were coming on before Metallica, and I made a joke. I kind of said it kind of loud about, yeah, I don't know why Korn's playing before Metallica. They're clearly superior to Metallica. And then it started a fight between two people behind me. But the best part was the seats we were in were seats we just kind of filled in that were somebody else's seats. That
you stole. Just say it.
Well, we were temporarily occupying the space. I wouldn't say we stole it. So then when the fight broke out,
keeping them warm.
And it got really bad. And there was just like nacho cheese flying everywhere. We just got up and went to our real seats, which were still clean. So
That's great.
yeah, I didn't think. I thought somebody would laugh when I said that. I didn't think that start a food fight. In hindsight, the food fight was a lot better than.
So what time? How much had they been drinking? How many beers had the people behind you had before that? Because typically at these shows, around 3, 4 p.m., sometimes 2 p.m., half the crowd's already tipped.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure how much they had to drink, but enough to start a food fight. Oddly enough,
so
nobody threw a beer. That's the one thing they don't throw.
That is true. Well, party foul if you spill your beer. Emily is not a zombie. She's just really cool and bigger balls than the three of us to eat raw. Just the standard.
I really don't think that's it. I really think it's just there's something off with me that I just really need the most bioavailable food, meat as much as possible. And my body just craves it raw. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's not that I'm like this really cool, like super person.
You are though. I mean, maybe not for that reason, but there's plenty of reasons.
I went a whole week eating nothing but raw steak, and I gotta say I do prefer it. You kind of miss like not having a seared steak just for the flavor, but from a digestion standpoint, raw is the only way to go. So
have you ever tried it frozen like I do it?
No, but you know what? I have like 6 or 7 New York strips downstairs that I just deboned. So I'm gonna try freezing them because you know what is it's gonna make it so much easier for me going to work, right? Because I'll just grab them out, a container out of the freezer and take it with me. You know. So I'm gonna do that and just because that makes sense.
Cut it into tiny little bite-sized pieces, and then put it on parchment paper and put it in a Tupperware. And
parchment paper.
Layer it.
Yeah.
So that it's like not touching each other. And then
don't cross the streams.
and then you can just like pull it off of the parchment paper and throw it in a container or whatever.
I need to get some chopsticks so I can be stylish like you.
I so need to make a video. I've been saying this for like a year now.
Do you prefer it frozen over room temperature?
Yes, absolutely. The crunch. I love the crunch.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're Emily's raw steak bites.
Yeah. I love it.
When you put it that way, that does sound extremely appetizing, I will say.
It's so good. And then the fat, because see what I do is I do a bite of meat and a bite of fat, a bite of meat, a bite of fat, a bite of meat, a bite of fat. And then that's how I get down a half a pound of fat every single day.
See, but I'm left-handed, so like I can't cut like straight. Mine would be like, I don't know. I wish they made some kind of, I'm left-handed. I also cannot use scissors.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Well, we accept you and your disability. It's fine.
Disability.
Just cut it.
Disabilities.
Someone asked what kind of cuts I am eating, and actually, that's the coolest part about eating raw is it doesn't matter. You can get the like cheapest, like toughest, whatever, and it doesn't matter. Like if you're eating it raw and especially frozen, then it really doesn't matter what cut it's all delicious. All of it. Like I can't tell a difference between the filet that I eat and the, what's a tough thing? Sirloin,
like a top round, bottom round.
Top round, yeah. I can't tell a difference. Chuck stick. I can't tell a difference.
Apart from in your wallet, but
yeah. Yeah. But I can't tell a difference. And I love it all.
Oh, is Planet Terror the movie with Rose McGowan?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot that. Then that was the name of it. I saw Rose McGowan one time, probably 15, 20 years ago.
I like Tom's ADHD. That was amazing. Just interrupted him talking about raw
No.
meat.
Sorry about
And then-
that. But you know what it was? Somebody put up, had posted in their Death Proof, and that's when it clicked. It's like, oh, Planet Terror and Death Proof all came out of
Yeah.
Grindhouse about the same time. Sorry.
They were literally shown together.
And if you saw Rose McGowan when I saw Rose McGowan, that
When
would
she was-
stick in your head for the rest of your life. Like
when she was dating Marilyn Manson, that period there.
Yeah, it could have been, or it would have been maybe after that. But yeah, she's a very striking person in person.
Wait, where you just were walking around LA and you met her, or like what?
I didn't meet her. I just happened to see her. I was
Like at a
Beautiful.
store or
like,
something.
yeah.
It was a cardboard cutout.
Ah,
In the store.
no, trust me, this was a little more dimensional. Yeah, it's kind of weird how you get a connection just seeing somebody, but Planet Terror. Now I got to watch that. Well, let's wrap this up. I got to go watch Planet Terror.
I thought Death Proof was the better movie overall as far as story.
I'd agree. It just didn't have enough Rose McGowan in it.
Me and my friends actually used to do the what do you call it on the car or whatever? What's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the game or whatever? Yeah,
Holding on to the hood of the car.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're not recommending people do that. Although I am durable, but yeah, cars on human bone and flesh, not good. Not a good mix.
Mm. Even cats only have 9 lives. I'd stay away from the car tricks if I were you. Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, jerky is slowly cooked, dehydrated. I mean,
Not really cooked.
It's dehydrated cooked.
Dehydrated meat. In fact, I made a big batch today. You guys saw that picture I posted in our
I didn't see it.
conversation with all that meat that was cut up.
Oh yeah, I saw the meat cut up, but I didn't.
I got
see
two batches. I pulled one. Actually, I have 3 because I pulled one out of the dehydrator. That's got my patented Doritos flavor on it, and then put it in another experimental batch, and then I got a third that's unseasoned that's going in. So it's jerky. So I want to do the Emily style eating along with some jerky. Yeah, I think if you took a piece of beef jerky, normal beef jerky that's dried at like 120 degrees or whatever, 130 degrees, and soaked it in water, it would come back looking more or less like raw meat. So I'm going with raw, but then maybe just depending on what temperature you dehydrate it at. So
Dehydrating meat just makes me so sad.
what's
Like, because you're going from like 5 pounds of meat to like a half a pound of meat. Like, it's just like, why? Like, why?
Well, you're just getting rid of the water. The
But,
meat
like-
is the same amount of meat.
I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad.
It's
to
like
me.
cooking meat, then, isn't it? Or cooking ground beef.
I guess so. But
I mean, you
it
might
makes
have.
me sad to cook meat at all because I'm like, I want to eat it all. Give me it all.
Yeah, I was at a barbecue not too long ago, and I was watching them cook the meat. Somebody said, "Oh, is the smoke getting in your eyes?" And I'm like, "No, you're just ruining that meat. It's making me sad."
Were they over smoking it or what? Or overcooking
Yeah, it was
it?
just overcooked.
Yeah, so I don't know. Those that follow me on Instagram, alloutlife.carnivore, I posted my meal that evolved throughout the evening. So I went out to Chili's, American restaurant here. It's okay. It's like a Denny's, but with a bar where you can get alcohol. It's basically it. Anyway, so I went with me, my cousin's girlfriend, and I ordered. So they now have a barbecue ultimate bacon burger. I like how every burger joint's having like an ultra bacon burger. Like bacon's coming back in a big way, and I couldn't be happier. And
for bacon.
And so I ordered that with an extra part patty, and the waiter goes, "Oh, I guess you really like your meat." And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so it was 3 patties, like 6 slices of bacon, like it was bomb, right? And then my cousin's girlfriend got a steak, and she likes her steaks rare, like straight rare. And I was like, hell yeah. And they brought her steak, and it was medium. So they're like, oh, does anyone here want it? And I was like, I'll take it. I can't just let meat get thrown away. I ended up with a ribeye steak and 3 patties for like a meal. And like, it was amazing. And
sounds like a good day.
And the waiter was like, "Are you going to be okay? Should we call an ambulance or something, or have 911 on the phone? Like, I'm really worried about your cholesterol." And I was like, "I do this all the time," and like, it's called carnivore diet, man. Look it up. It'll make you lose your love handles. But I didn't say that last part because I'm not rude. But
You
I
don't
was thinking
in
it.
your ribeye?
You lose your boobs. As you said to him.
Your moobs, yeah.
Your moobs.
So, Emily, was the last time you had some bacon?
Year and a half, 2 years, year and a half, probably. My dad was cooking it, and he had just got some fresh from a local place, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And so I was like, "I'll have 1 piece," and I tried it, and I had diarrhea like the next day.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I am so sensitive. I am like ridiculously sensitive. Recently I went to a burger joint here called Culver's, and I had
Culver's. They have fried cheese curds there.
Yeah, I didn't get those, but I had just had 2 burger patties, 2 meat cookies, just like I have at McDonald's, and I had a headache for 4 days.
Oh, damn.
I can't and it must have been some oil or something that they put on it, but I can have the quarter pounder patties from McDonald's, and I'm
no
fine.
Frozen custard.
No.
Could also be the seasoning that they use.
Could have been
in the meat. So if I go to McDonald's and I ask for beef patties, I always ask for them not seasoned.
Oh, okay.
'Cause when they give them to me, I do get a bit of a headache.
Yeah. If I have something with vegetable oil, it usually gives me heartburn. I can tell like my stomach's a little off. I don't really get sick, other than I do get heartburn, and it's common. There's so much stuff out there. And that's the thing. When I go to the Midwest, it's like they have cheese curds everywhere, and it's like, oh, please have some fried cheese curds that are not fried in vegetable oil, please.
Christina, I am eating beef and beef fat. So I go to the farmer and I ask for the beef fat trimmings.
Say hi to your farmer while you're here.
My farmer?
Say hi.
Well, I have 2 different farmers. I have one that I get my meat from and one that I get my fat from. So my fat is in.
You're cheating on them.
They know about each other.
That's like the best kind of relationship.
And it's funny because my fat farmer is mad. And he's just like, why is hers better? And I'm like, I don't know, but I can eat her ground beef and I don't get a headache, but I eat his ground beef and I get a headache. So, but her fat sucks. Her fat is like, it's crumbly or something. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. And his fat is like cream of the crop, like so delicious. So delicious.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, like, I've become a connoisseur of fat, and like, he's got the best fat I've ever had.
I have noticed that, like, when I go and get fat trimmings and I'm cutting it up, there's some pieces that, certain parts of the fat is much better than others, and the texture varies greatly. When I'm on my game, I ask the butcher, I'm like, hey, you guys cutting prime rib today? Because the fat that comes out the prime rib is usually pretty bomb.
Awesome.
So
awesome. But no, I don't need anything else. Just beef and beef fat.
Yep. She's our little trooper.
3 years now.
3 years.
Woo.
And so do you when with the ground beef, do you make little cubes out of it and then freeze it? Or?
Actually, what I do is I put the pound of ground beef in the refrigerator the night before, so that when I wake up at 6 a.m., it's like just thawed enough that I can cut it. And I cut it into slices and then into triangles. So it looks like kind of like pepperoni chunks. And then I eat it with chopsticks. I need to make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Secret Life of Emily. Better say hi to Deck. Looks like she's just popping in for a hello.
Hi, Deck.
So, anyways, who else planning on seeing Jordan Peterson when he rolls through town? We were talking about that earlier.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, he already came through Missouri, if I remember right, like a couple months ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've already met him, so yeah. I met him before you had to pay extra to meet him. I just had to stand in line for 2.5 hours, and I asked him I was so tired, like, and I was dressed like some goth kid off the street. Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I wore like rave attire to go see like Jordan Peterson. He didn't judge me, and I took like the world's worst picture, which I can't even find anymore. Anyway, that was my experience. But I was so tired.
What'd you ask him?
I remember. Actually, I had a comment. I actually critiqued like one of his debates with like Sam Harris.
Of course,
it's kind of funny. Yeah, because I'm me. So yeah, I had a critique, a question, and then like another question. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
but
that's
I did
the only reason
his
why I
hand.
hang out with you. You know,
I think I would just cry.
just cry.
I was too tired to cry.
I would just be so happy.
And if I met Michaela, I'm sure I would just say something terrible. So you guys have to like duct tape my mouth.
For those of you who haven't guessed, Justin's a little awkward around pretty girls.
A little bit. Unless they're made of plastic. I should really watch what I say on these things. Oh, well that's out there now.
Yeah. Do you think your boss is still watching these, Justin?
We'll see tomorrow.
Good. I won't tell you that I texted your boss to make sure he was listening. So.
There you go. Hey, not just boss, CEO of the company. So there you go.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Your boss's boss's boss.
My boss's boss's boss.
It's all right. Joe, you got any fears of your boss watching the videos?
No, I've known him for 30 years. He knows what I'm like.
Emily, you're pretty much your own boss these days, right?
Mostly. I still work a couple hours, 3 to 4 hours a day.
Gotcha.
And everybody at my work just kind of like, they're like, oh, that's cute. Like, you're crazy. So, it's all good.
Well, no, I don't think anybody I worked with ever watched any of my videos, but one of the young guys I worked with, he walked in my office and I was eating lunch. He's like, is that raw meat? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, is that steak? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, I've never seen that before. So,
Oh God.
I'm like, okay. And then like a couple weeks later, it was just before Thanksgiving, he comes in and he goes, I'm just curious, what do you do on Thanksgiving? And I'm like, I don't eat raw turkey, if that's what you want to know. So I was like, yeah, no, I'll eat cooked meat. And then if it's turkey or chicken, it's gonna be cooked. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, one time I tried raw chicken, it was so tough. I couldn't believe it. It's like, damn, these birds are tough. Weak little birds are tough. And then Justin almost poisoned himself with.
Well, I did
half-baked
poison
chicken.
myself. Yeah, don't do that.
My boss saw me eat a raw steak and almost fainted in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Remember that one, Austin? So,
That's
yeah,
funny.
he'll yeah, he goes, I can't look at it. I can't look at the blood. It was going all funny. Yeah.
That's
Maybe I should,
hilarious.
maybe I should eat raw in front of him, get a nice filet mignon or eat a nice raw steak in front of him.
I almost bought some heart yesterday. I went to the Food for Less, but it was pig heart. And I actually really like heart raw, like cow heart raw is delicious. But I don't know what I would do with pig heart. I don't know if I'd have to cook that.
Yeah, I don't think it's any tougher.
I've never had pig heart.
Neither have I. I just didn't know like
cow heart.
if you could eat pig heart raw. That's
Well,
all.
your assignment is to go get one, eat it, and let us know.
Oh man.
If it's too tough and you got to cook it to tenderize it, just let us know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, I mean, would I get like would there because you can't eat pork raw really. You might get sick, right?
Well, like trichinosis was eliminated from the domestic herds before we were born. Okay. Now I know everybody has this crazy fear of pork, but you only find trichinosis in wild animals in most developed countries. So they got rid of it a long time ago. So.
Well, this was Food for Less. So, well, how do I know the symptoms of trichinosis if I got it?
Well, it's a parasite, So, and if it's not from a cold region, just freezing it will kill it.
Okay.
If it's from northern latitudes, that trichinosis, and this is again, you find it in wild animals like bears and mountain lions and wild pigs. You don't find it in domestic meat.
Got it. So I can go buy the pork heart and then freeze it just to make sure, and then I'll eat it raw, and I should be fine.
Yeah, you should be fine.
All right. Well, we got maybe 2 weeks from now's video.
You're a guinea pig. There's always risks. Raw meat, there's always a risk of raw meat.
Yeah.
You could get mad pig disease or something for all I know, but
I'll be a mad pig.
It's going to come around again. There'll be mad cow disease, and there'll be Kuru and Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease or something will come around. You never know. The prions will get us in the end of days. We're all worried about viruses, and it's the prions that are going to get us.
I think someone has a chat question for M, unless you already answered that.
Which one?
The only beef raw, nothing else, right?
Yeah, I did. I answered it about my fat. The only things that I eat are beef and beef fat. I would probably try pig fat raw. Like I've seen different, like I think they call it the back fat or something. I've seen different people where they cure it in salt.
You're from the South and you never had back fat? No.
Or what? Like pork belly.
What?
I think if I knew the source, if I could get a really good clean source, I would do it.
Well, you know them farmers.
Well, I don't know. My farmers don't have pigs.
Farmers know farmers. Come on.
True.
Use your farmer network.
Very true. I know some in North Carolina that I would love to try, but I'm just
there you go.
Gotta get to North Carolina.
Oh, and on that Rose, just backtracking to that Rose McGowan question. Yes, she had normal hair. She hadn't shaved her head yet. So.
Ooh, someone says that they lived in Kansas City, and there was a place that served raw pork sandwiches. No way.
Oh wow! I'll
That's
check that out.
Super cool. That's super cool. Kansas City is probably 6 hours from me. 5 hours.
It's 3 hours for me.
So maybe it's 4 or 5 hours for me.
Yeah. St. Louis. Yeah.
You guys just hop a plane, have lunch together, eat some raw pork sandwiches, and report back next Sunday.
Are you paying those tickets, Tom?
Oh, come on. It's just a puddle jump. Or maybe T-Mach 5 will swing by and pick you up in the T-Mach 5.
There you go.
There we go.
That'd be great. Hey, since we're all here, and I guess we can do a plug. Bart's birthday stream is on Tuesday.
Aww.
And it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, if I did the math right and read the message right. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be on it. Tom's gonna try to be on it. Joe, did you get an invite? I know Bart was throwing around invites. Okay.
Well, we posted it somewhere. I forget.
Happy birthday, Bart.
Yeah. So that's gonna be great. Hopefully my math is right and I can actually attend. But yeah, gonna try to be there at least for a little bit and say hi to Bart. Because we love him.
Yes. I get to record with Pim again.
Yellow
cool.
Ted said, make sure you're there. Or he's going to cuss you a blue streak.
Oh.
That's actually Yellow Ted's clone. Yellow Ted 2.0.
Winnie the Pooh.
Not if Disney's listening. I might have turned his jacket around.
It's the president of China, Xi Jinping.
That was very funny, Justin. Because I do see the resemblance on what you mentioned. Xi Jinping?
Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
My Chinese is better than my Spanish.
And English.
And English. Yeah, true. Well, hey, if I'm trying to hit up on them Asian ladies, I gotta speak the right clicks and chongs and stuff. So there you go. I like M's mortified face. Amazing.
Just gonna keep my comments to myself.
Again, you're from the South, and just kidding. We're stereotyping poor Emily. Haven't seen her hardly in a year, and here we are picking on her. Feels so good.
It's just like old times.
Just like old times. Yeah.
Where's Ray? How come Ray's not here?
Well, he's so popular.
Does he usually come?
He hasn't come in a long time.
not
Only when he crashes
become a
and brings
superstar.
like 5 other people.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, right about this time is when he goes out to feed the unicorns. I was telling somebody that story just the other day about how Ray would talk about petting the unicorn, and then somebody came up with that painting of Ray on the back of the unicorn.
I love it.
It's so amazing. I gotta find that.
I love it. It's on his Instagram.
Is it? I gotta scroll through his Instagram.
The dig. He was on that. I don't know what that machine is. It looked like stirrups or something, but or he was doing his splits.
Yeah, it was like he did a live.
Yeah, I was gonna make a terrible comment and then I behaved myself.
Aw.
Shocking.
I think I was gonna say, "Oh, you getting ready for tonight, baby?" I think that was gonna be my comment.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, him with the
unicorn.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh my God, Emily.
Oh, it'd be great if we could do that. I forget what the name of the English show is, but like where you have someone else be the lips or whatever, like for a painting.
Oh.
I forgot what's the name of that show. I think it was English or British or something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Think of the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it either. It was like a late night show, right?
Yeah.
And they'd bring on the queen or whatever and make her lips move and say silly shit.
Let's see how big I can make this. Ooh, I'm trying to show Ray on his stretching machine.
Oh.
It's not going to be very big, but I'll share it. Doodle doodle doodle.
Yeah, Joe says his flexibility has gone up. Not Joe, Raymond, sorry. Like that's his thing. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. My body's
Can you guys watching this?
Yeah.
The torture device.
I think I would like that just because then it's almost like doing the work for you a little bit.
That's as big as I can make it. Hey, Ray, we're having fun at your expense again.
There you go. Oh, cranking it up.
That's what you get for not coming on today.
Oh, so painful.
Is that what you guys do to me when I don't come?
I guess we'll start.
Now that you mention it, that's a very good idea.
We'll do a video. We'll do a reaction to your Instagram live with you and Kelly Hogan. We'll do a reaction video. There you go. And then we'll do another video of us reacting to our reaction to the Kelly Hogan and you video. There you go.
How come I don't see the unicorn picture on here?
It's on his Instagram. You just gotta scroll.
I'm scrolling.
The people in the chat are talking about calcification.
Yeah, we promised we'd mention that. Oh, but making fun of Ray is
that. I just don't know anything about it. So,
well, we were going to talk about, calcification kind of gets blamed for a lot of things like atherosclerosis and kidney stones and stuff like that. But as we find out that, when you see calcium in your your arteries, your carotid or your coronary arteries, it's really there just to stabilize plaque that's soft to keep it from breaking off and causing a stroke or pulmonary embolism or whatever. So the calcium isn't really the problem. The calcium is just there to help improve the situation. The same thing's true with kidney stones. A lot of people, I remember people blaming calcium for kidney stones too. Like, oh, there's too much calcium in the water or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But really what's going on is, 80% of kidney stones are caused by oxalates, right? So you eat high oxalate foods and you get too much oxalate in your body and your body can't process it out, start storing it in the form of oxalate crystals. And one of the ways your body neutralizes it by combining it with calcium. And consequently, it seems like sometimes when people go on a carnivore diet and stop eating oxalates and their body starts breaking up these crystals. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got a kidney stone all of a sudden and it's killing me. It's like, really what's going on is you built a kidney stone over years and now your body's trying to get rid of it. And since it's breaking apart and it's trying to move around and perhaps pass through your tiny, tiny urethra, it gets very painful.
That's why people sometimes get worse before they get better.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Ben Parlos says over 2 years ago, I got a lipid test and a CAC scan. My cholesterol was 289 high and my CAC score was 0. So yeah, I had a CAC. I'll just mention that since it's right on topic. The CAC stands for a coronary artery calcium scan. And so it's typically a CAT scan, which is like x-ray slices. And they go in and they can look in your coronary arteries and see how much calcified plaque there is. So it's very hard to see the plaque if it's not calcified. But like I said, calcification is something that happens over time to stabilize the plaque because the plaque is kind of gelatinous, like and it could potentially come off, but really what that is like a band-aid over inflammation so that you don't get a leak in your coronary arteries, right? Because almost your heart's a pump, right? And these plaques almost always form on the high pressure side of the pump, right? So your heart's squeezing the blood out on one side, so that's the high pressure side, and that's typically where we see you rarely see it on the side where the blood's coming into the heart. It's where it's squirting out. So anyways, it's believed that most of that is starts with inflammation in the arterial wall. And people debate about why there's inflammation there. If you listen to vegetarian guys like Joel Kahn, who is a cardiac specialist, he blames it on LDL cholesterol. It's like, oh yeah, it penetrates the wall and then the foam cells show up and blah 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 blah. But more and more we're seeing that it's not the LDL cholesterol that's causing the inflammation. It's LDL, like everything in a blood cell. Because if you look in that plaque, you'll find everything that's contained in a blood cell, not just LDL, not just cholesterol. It's actually there as a reaction to an inflammation that there's no way to point the inflammation back at cholesterol or LDL. They just accumulate there as a response to the inflammation. So, and those are very thick arteries. So those arteries actually have a blood supply from outside. They have their own separate blood supply.
Oh.
So when you look at a typical illustration of like an artery, it's usually not the coronary arteries. The coronary arteries are actually much thicker. The layers are much thicker. And so a lot of times that leads to kind of a misunderstanding of what's going on there and how complicated the situation is. So yeah, I'm always trying to get people to get these CAC scans or coronary artery calcium scans, because if you really want to know if you're at risk of a classic heart attack or you have blockage in your coronary arteries, that's probably the best way to know, because the doctors will give you all these blood tests and stuff like that, or throw you on a treadmill, or
statins, like
or just put you on a statin, right? Which is when statins work by forcing your liver to produce less cholesterol, right? So you're messing with your natural physiology in a guess that it's going to somehow prevent a heart attack. So like when I had my CAC done, I had a score of 7, which of course we know people, Ray, who might have a score of like 600 or something. And they were like, oh yeah, we should put you on a statin. So I looked up the numbers, and if you took 10 people like me with a score of 7, put them on a statin for 10 years, so that's 100 man years. If you did that, you might prevent one heart attack statistically. So you're gonna put 10 people on a drug that has side effects for 10 years, and you might prevent one heart attack. Yeah, that's the kind of medical treatment that's going on like regularly out there, is just putting people on statins.
Treatment.
Yeah. That's the standard of care, and it doesn't really make any sense. So, but aside from that, I suggest people go get a body scan and just find out what's wrong with you. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of things in there that might keep you up at night. But at the end of the day, if you want to know you're gonna have a heart attack, I talked my friend into doing it. Him and his wife went, and they found out she had breast cancer, and that probably saved her life, because they treated her. They removed a tumor and stuff like that, and she recovered nicely. So stuff like that could happen, but it turned out to be a good thing, even though it was scary. So.
You might find a calcified twin somewhere on your body. I can't wait till I'm old enough to get a CAC score.
You're old enough. Go get one now.
No, you have to be 40.
No, you don't.
That's what you said. Well, I heard it's pointless unless you're 40 or older to go get it.
Yeah, it's more common, but people die of heart attacks. I mean, you're a carnivore. You should just be doing it for curiosity.
Right. Not a problem.
Yeah, just throw down $400 or $500. Let's just marvel at the artistry here.
That's awesome, Christina. So you had a mitral valve prolapse. Interesting. And you say it's gone now. Doctor can't see or hear it. Wow, that's an awesome success.
Yeah, that is good. She's 37.
Maybe I'll get it done at 35. I'll be 5 years carnivore at age 35.
Well, if you do it now and you have a score of 0, and then you do it another 5 years and it's still 0, think of the testament that would make.
See, age 35 recommended. I'm too young. Got 2 more years.
You're not
I wanted
too-
to get a test done, but my doctor said don't waste your money.
for a CAC or some other
Yeah,
test.
CAC.
Was that Dr. Mason or your PCP?
It was Dr. Mason.
Oh, of course, Dr. Mason. Yeah. When was the last time you saw him? Aren't you coming up on that soon?
I see him in August.
Oh, all right. So a little bit. Oh, it's just once a year. I thought you went every 6
No,
months.
I was going every 6 months, but my bloods have been so good for the past couple of years. He's just said, listen, just come and see me in a year's time. And already,
that's why we should get him on to talk about that.
Because I asked him, he said, yeah, no, you don't need. I mean, he said, looking at my blood test results, yeah, I don't need to.
Well, let me rephrase it. If you think you're at risk or your doctor's trying to put you on statins, I would definitely get a CAC, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll look more into it. I'm not opposed to going. I just want it to be relevant, relevant information rather than just dismissed of, you're a kid, of course nothing's going to show up. Although I have done quite a bit of damage to this body.
Yeah, so there you go. You could look at all those injuries you had. Just get a whole body scan.
They're like, how are you walking?
Could see all the loose screws and nuts rolling around in your joints.
The hamsters.
The hamsters
running around. Yeah. Here you go.
So
but I'm excited to get a CAC score, though. I'm pretty excited about it. Oh.
So it looks like T-Mock 5. I think he's saying he had a CAC and his score was 67. So
have you gone back yet, Tom? I forget if you did or didn't yet.
No, I just did that one. It's probably been 3 years now. I don't know. Something like that.
Is it recommended to do it like in 5-year stints?
Yeah, it's something like 5-year.
All right.
So,
I mean, then we can go on the same year. See, it works out.
There is apparently you can get it done in an MRI machine as well. I haven't found somebody locally that offers it. I'm sure it's quite a bit more expensive, but if you're going to do an MRI over a CAT scan, then you could do it more frequently because the MRI, the CAT scan is X-rays, which is radiation to avoid, of course, right? So
unless you want superpowers.
Well, there is that upside, yeah. If you do the MRI, it's just magnetisms. The MRI machine just rattles all your calcium ions, if I remember correctly. We're circling back to the subject by accident. Yeah, so the signal from the MRI machine is a magnetic pulsation of your calcium ions, and that's how they managed to generate that image. And it's, of course, a much, much, much lower risk, almost zero risk for a MRI over a CAT scan. So, yeah. So there you go. We brought calcium back into this one more time.
There you go. All right.
So you guys are not on bones at all to get your calcium up?
No. I was going to ask you, what did I find? Oh, neck bones. They had neck bones at the food
like
for
turkey
less.
And chicken?
They had pig, actually. Pig and cow neck bones, actually.
Huh.
And I was going to be like, I wonder what I could do with this.
Chewing it like a dog.
Yep. In fact, that's your assignment for next week. I want you to show up with a neck bone and just gnaw on it while we're talking.
All right. A neck bone, a neck bone and a heart.
And your studded collar.
And a studded collar. Okay.
Now we're talking. That's raising the entertainment level right there.
Is that elevating the conversation?
And I tell you what, I'm gonna eat Emily style all week.
What? Doing a whole nother week of raw
The raw frozen.
frozen?
I'm gonna have to get some hamburger and try her hamburger trick. Hamburger cubes.
I also enjoy my cheeses. Cheese is good.
Yeah, I eat some
Cheese is
cheese here and there.
life.
I even put sprinkled cheese on the jerky. That's how I get my nacho flavor or my Dorito flavor.
What cheese do you use, Tom?
Parmesan and cheddar cheese powder,
Oh my god.
fresh from the factory.
Doesn't it have like potato starch or like sodium dioxide and stuff in it?
No, it's just dehydrated cheese that they blast into a powder.
Huh.
Yeah, it's-
I've no Parmesan cheese, but I've never seen, I think, cheddar cheese. That's
I had a special
in a
order.
powder.
I've never seen it either. I had a special order. It exists. And then the non-carnivore aspect of it is that I use a little tomato powder, which I'd never seen before, and there's a little garlic and onion powder.
Oh, that
So,
sounds bomb to make meatballs. Tomato
Yeah.
powder. That could actually probably make turkey meatballs tolerable. Cheddar cheese powder, tomato powder, and maybe a little bit of garlic powder. I think that'd be bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I'm so crazy about the meatball thing. It's too much work to have them not get
Yeah.
dry. You got to cook them in broth or ghee or.
Well, you just throw butter on when you go to eat them, or throw them in some fat or something.
Why don't you just make a meatloaf and slice it like bread and put butter on that?
That sounds like more work.
No, just cook it one big solid loaf.
All right,
You're doing the meatballs wrong, Tom. We've had this discussion before.
I did it the way you said, man. I cooked them in butter to keep them moist, and they were kind of dry. I was like, man.
Turkey meatballs are always going to be kind of dry.
Well, I think if you throw beef butter, only. Yeah, the turkey was ridiculous. In fact, I think I still got one package of ground turkey in the freezer. I need to get rid of it. I'm not sure what the shelf life for the cheese powder is, but I'd imagine it's pretty long because it's very dry. In fact, the problem with the cheese powder and I tried mixing the Parmesan with the cheese powder, and when you start working with them out in the air, they start clumping because they start absorbing moisture. So you gotta kind of work with them in their dry form, just like sprinkle them on and not combine them ahead of time because then they just absorb too much, and then you get like cheese boogers rather than powdered cheese, and it's hard otherwise because you're trying to get it to stick to the meat while it dries, right? So you can't have big pieces of cheese on there. It won't stick.
The way I think I would do it is I would form the meatballs, put them on the pan, then I would throw the powders on them, and then throw them in the oven and have it bake like that.
I think I'm just going to eat it raw, Emily style.
Hey, there is people in chat talking about K2 and helping with calcification. I don't know if I've heard that or know anything about that specifically.
Yeah, I think K2 facilitates the movement of calcium through the body, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and a lot of the aged cheeses do have K2 in them. They also like Parmesan. I think has one of the highest levels of leucine as well. So there you go. It tastes good. It's got K2.
Builds up.
That's right. Big.
Get beefy, even more beefy. How you lifting these days, Tom? You hitting any PRs?
No, I'm still trying to get my deadlift back to pre-lockdown numbers, but I've been lifting a lot. I actually had a pain in my left shoulder from something, and it went away. And then I managed to get a pain in my left arm, the forearm. So I've been babying it a little bit, but I've been doing squats are still good, still pulling in still squatting somewhere between 600 and 700 pounds, doing leg presses. So I'm actually self-conscious about my biceps not being big enough. So I'm working on the biceps and the shoulders a lot now.
They're only bigger than my head. When I come, we should put a picture. You need to take a picture of me next to your bicep.
Yeah. So, and I am still getting leaner. You know what the problem is? I went to order smaller pants because actually my upper torso is getting big. My shoulders are getting bigger. My chest is getting bigger, but my waist is getting smaller. And I went to order some new work pants that match my old ones, just a size smaller. And they won't be available for like another 4 months because of if people don't know, the like cargo ships are like still stacked up off the coast of California. So
still, I thought they would move to Florida or something.
Even during COVID, the traffic in California was so bad it backed up off the coast. So don't no joke. so yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff is hard to get. So, but anyways, it's nice. Oh man, you know what? I cut the end off my belt the other day, just to show. So this, you can see where I tried to match the profile right there. This was just extra belt hanging off, you know. It was just always flopping around, so cut it off.
You should get a seatbelt belt.
Okay.
It's like a universal. No, I'm not even kidding. They have cool designs. Like they have like different bands and stuff like that. I've got 2 of them because my skinny ass, like I can't, like no belts fit like at all. And so I use seatbelt belts, and like they have like a seatbelt buckle, and then you just slide them in and they click, and they're awesome. And they're fully adjustable.
Fully adjustable.
Have you got a harness one that comes around like clicks in?
Oh,
yeah,
only
to the front,
only when I go
braces.
out to the bathroom on my own.
Now I have to wear those to Rammstein.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely
harness.
bringing my seatbelt belts. I love them; they're the best. Have you guys seen my Instagram videos of me doing the X3, the new ones I just posted? My squat, my overhead press.
No, but I wish I'd filmed the one when you're doing the overhead press in my house with the resistance bands, because it was hilarious.
Hey, I'm a lot stronger now. I can tackle that thing probably.
All right, well, when you come back to California, we'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, I can probably do it now. I'm feeling pretty confident.
Because it was funny. It was fun watching you try to do it, but then when I asked you about it later, you're like, I feel like a freaking child.
I did. Felt like the weight of the world. But hey, I could pump out those pull-ups like
Yes,
no one's
you can.
business.
You're a pull-up master.
Yeah.
I think we should see if we can get what's his name. The guy who wrote "You Can't Hurt Me."
David Goggins.
David Goggins. Should have David Goggins and Justin do a pull-off.
Oh man.
And then when you get
No
here, we're gonna have to see who can eat more
Hang on.
Dutchman.
It's a pull-up, not a pull-off, Justin.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have a chance then.
So let's hear right now. Who can eat more Flying Dutchman, Joe or Justin?
100%. I'll smash him.
I don't know.
100%. Won't even touch the sides.
Look, I'll make you look like a droopy-eyed, armless child trying to eat. Trying to eat the Flying Dutchman.
The gauntlets have been thrown down.
Okay.
We got to bring Charmaine on it too. We got to see if we can out-eat Charmaine too.
See if we get Charmaine to roll by.
How many can she eat? Or does she got a big appetite as well?
I think she can eat. I think she can pack things down.
Well, so ask her.
Yeah.
Okay, how many do you think you can eat, Justin?
So they're 2. We did the math. They're like 2
They're only
ounce
about
patties.
2 ounces a piece. Yeah,
Right.
2 ounce patties. So each Flying Dutchman's 4 ounces of meat, and 2 slices of cheese, and grilled onions if you like them.
I mean, I think I could do 10 comfortably.
10
Yeah.
Flying Dutchmen or 10 patties?
Well, they're 4 ounces each.
So 10 of them would be 40 ounces of meat.
How many
And
pounds
20
is that?
and 80 slices. Wait. 10, that would be 20 slices of cheese and 40 ounces of meat.
I might not play to move after. Okay, 5. Let's do 5. For sure, 5. Honestly, anywhere between 5 and 10.
5 Dutchmen.
Yeah, I could do 5
Dutchmen.
Dutchmen.
Which is 10 patties and 10 slices of cheese.
Yeah, I could do that.
Easy.
Yeah, so that's not even hard. That's what I mean. 10 would be that would be a bit of a challenge.
10 of them.
10 of them. I don't know if I could eat anything else the rest of the day, and like it depends on the time. Because like if I can take like 20 minutes in between, like if I could do 5, and then give me like 20 minutes.
Yeah, listen, I'm only there for 2.5 weeks, huh?
And then another 5. I could probably knock it out.
So what's
How many
the
do you reckon
time?
you could do, Tom?
I don't know. I mean,
How many did you do the other day?
3.
Is that it?
I used to do so whenever I went to In-N-Out, I would do a
that was
4x4 and a double together.
That was just a quick meal on the way to the gym. It wasn't like, because I don't sit down and eat big meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I was getting hungry how many I could eat. But I mean, having hung out with Justin and seeing what you cook for a meal, I don't know if I could eat as much as you guys. I mean, when it comes to being challenged, it's kind of a different game.
Look, I can eat 10 beef patties, quarter pounder beef patties with a slice of cheese on each one. No problem.
10 quarter pounders. That's 40 ounces.
I'll have to do a little bit of training. I'll have to go to the Whack Arnold.
No problem.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you guys come, the 3 of us, assuming nobody else is there, we order 30 of them and we start eating. And then if somebody can't finish, the other guys get the opportunity to eat whatever they didn't eat. And then if that's not enough, we'll order more.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to do a Korean barbecue.
Yeah, we'll get kicked out. We'll get kicked out. There we go. Hopefully. Now, do I get to use the devil's lettuce as like a?
No.
Is a performance enhancing drug?
No, not cheating.
Unless Joe gets to drink a bottle of grappa.
No.
We'll do 2 different challenges. We'll do one clean and one on PEDs.
Performance eating drug.
Performance enhancing diet.
I loved what's it called? Robin Williams' joke about weed being a performance enhancing drug. He's like, weed is not a performance enhancing drug, especially when you're doing like a ski or like a luge or something, unless at the end of the ramp there's just a giant Twinkie. And like that always made me laugh.
Nanu.
And then we got to do a steak challenge.
Yeah.
Is there any steakhouses where there's like a 70-ounce steak?
No, we'll just buy it and cook it at Tom's.
Oh, hey, there you go. I think the biggest steak I ate all at once was like 2 1/4 pound. It was this gigantic, like 3-inch thick New York strip, and it was amazing.
I ate and I know there's bone. It was a 2.2 kilo T-bone.
2.2 kilo T-bone. So that's
a little over like
2
and
it's 2.2 times 2.2. Caught me off guard. My math coprocessor is offline.
4 pounds, whatever. But there's bone there, so you got to take the bones
it's closer to 5 pounds.
I could do 5 pounds of steak. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, it's 4.85 pounds. So take the bone out, and so T-bone, so it's easily 4.5 pounds. That bone's not that heavy.
We should totally throw these into Fitbit just to see if we gain any weight at all. Doing all this.
That would be great. So we just eat like animals. We try and out eat each other every day for basically 2 weeks.
We'll have to weigh ourselves the day we we'll have to weigh ourselves the day that I land.
Feeding the bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zombie Emily. Emily had to drop off. She had to take an important call. She might pop back in. So we knew she was expecting a call, but that's how we do it here. We eat on the air. People come and go as they need to. And we also plot and scheme how we're going to try and overfeed one another for 2 weeks.
Sabotage each other.
That'd be really interesting just to say, like, all we do is eat a lot of meat for 2 weeks, like challenge each other, and then see what our health is like afterward. So why don't we just do all the vitals? Check our blood pressure and stuff like that.
You got a pump?
There was a couple.
What, for blood pressure?
Yeah,
I've got a machine. If I remember, I'll bring it.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
We had a couple of electronic ones around here. I'm not sure if they're still here, but we could certainly get another one.
Well, blood pressure machine. Where is it?
There you go.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be interesting. Let's check our vitals.
Actually, as I said, I see Paul Mason in
September or no August. You said right before. Oh yeah, so
and I leave in September.
Oh yeah,
so it'd be good if I could get some done after I get back from my holiday.
That'd be fun. Well, you should just tell him the challenge we're doing. I'm sure he'll be interested for the science.
Be funny if we did a skit and it was like we were doing like pretending we were doing telemedicine and like, well, Doc, I ate 10 Flying Dutchmen last night.
How much is 30 Flying Dutchmen gonna cost? This would be like $150 meal.
Yeah, 30 of them would be like $300.
$100 each. Oh man, are we gonna be able to afford these eating challenges?
Because it's about $10 for 3 of them, so 10 times that. Oh wait,
no, that's $100.
That's $100.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, $100.
No BFD.
$100 plus tax. So yeah, that is like 100 and.
They got you back, Emily. They were asking for you.
Who?
The people.
Carlos.
Our studio audience.
I gotta go again. Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Problem.
This shouldn't be long though. So
it's all right. You're killing our fun, anyways. Just kidding. We love you, Emily. So it's $100. No big deal.
Hey, you know where we have to go? Lowry's, I think it's called. The prime rib place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're famous because, like, I guess they were famous. Like, you could go in there and get a prime rib lunch. Like, they had them all ready. They were just used to cranking them out. So you could go in and have a quick lunch and you could have prime rib for lunch there. And then, whatchamacallit, the winery, San Antonio Winery is famous for their prime rib as well. So
jot them down.
Yeah, we gotta see if we can sucker anybody into an all-you-can-eat prime rib, because that would be glorious.
Are there any Brazilian restaurants?
Yeah. There's that one. I know that one I've been to in Covina, and then that one I went to with Sean down there in the OC.
Sure, I think Greenfield closed down though. I think the one in Covina is not there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know they closed down before I left.
Which is the one Sean went to? Foco de Chao? Is that what it was called?
That's not the one we went to because we couldn't get in there. It was full. They didn't have any space. So we went to another one. I'll figure out what it was.
Where's that siren coming from? Is there a chase that I'm missing out on?
I got the window open. Sorry. And I don't know, some random emergency down the block or 2 away.
So Ban Parlaus has a question. If we eat lunch, they said they work days, typically don't eat anything until they get home. they eat about a pound or more of ground beef around 6 p.m. 5 days a week. So me personally, I have at least 2 meals roughly every day and some raw eggs in the morning. So we have a previous video called Feeding the Bonfire, but it's kind of just become regular eating for me. Tom, you're doing about 3.5 meals a day, something like that.
Yeah, so at least 3 to 4. Because what happens is, I get my appetite's not that big in the morning, but I start eating. I eat some steak. I tried the raw eggs. I noticed like those really killed my appetite. So, but eggs in general tend to kill my appetite. So then I eat some steak for lunch, and then I eat again on the way to the gym after work. And then I frequently get hungry after the gym again. So I've never been able to get all the I've never been able to get all those calories in, because right now I'm floating around 4,000 calories a day, and not a couple months ago it was 6,000 calories a day. I just couldn't eat that much. I mean, I could probably force myself to, but I really wouldn't enjoy it. And I was like, why would I do that? So.
Yeah. So depending on your height and weight band and your goals, in my honest opinion, I'd say you're not eating enough, and would try to get in some raw eggs or something in the morning. Or if you really want to measure it out, like if you're doing at least 1.5 pounds a day, that's to me that's not optimal though.
You take a case like Emily's, like the most extreme, right? She goes carnivore, drops 100 pounds in a year. Most of her medical issues resolved, and she wasn't working out, right? She wasn't even going to the gym. So that's why we hate her a little bit. But and then you got, that's like an extreme story that like a lot of people aren't going to experience. So, and then you throw in trying to exercise or like hitting some goals, and it gets more complicated. So I like to say that my Fitbit has really helped a lot, because number one, it keeps me honest about how much I'm sleeping, which is something I battled for a long time. It's just not sleeping enough. But also it gives you an idea how much energy you're burning. And as flawed as the caloric system is, calories aren't strictly representative of how much energy we burn. At least it's something, right? So I think we all kind of agree. We've all seen people that seem to undereat, and it creates more problems, right? It is where we live in a world that just basically kind of trains us to undereat, because it's like, I mean, a lot of people overeat, right? They eat a bunch of highly palatable junk food, and they're choking down a bunch of vegetable oil and sugar and everything, and then you get too many calories. Then you clean up your diet, and you're like, yeah, hunger's mild. I don't get hangry anymore. My emotions are better. I'm not eating emotionally like I used to, and I don't have all these caloric sources that I used to have that were highly palatable or comfort foods or whatever. So then it becomes really easy to undereat. So you get up in the morning, you're not a big eater sometimes, or you have a cup of coffee that kills your appetite or whatever, and it's easy to not eat enough. And when you have something like a Fitbit, some other kind of fitness tracker, it gives you an idea of how much energy you need. And then you can look seriously at the food you're eating and go, oh, I'm way off. I was 1,000 calories short today. I was 2,000. No wonder I'm sluggish, because my metabolism's kind of slowing down because my body's trying to conserve because I'm not eating enough or whatever. Or I go, Joe would know in a hurry if he's trying to climb a hill and he didn't get enough food in, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yesterday I didn't eat enough. I think I'd only consumed 900 calories. Yeah, I had like another 1,500 to go.
Yeah.
And that didn't take into account the 2,000 that I'd burnt on my bike ride. So, so I should have been consuming a lot more. And I got home from work, I was starving. So I got some meat and just ate. before I
Yeah,
went to
and
bed.
there's the big takeaway is that if you're hungry, so if you're getting hungry around lunch, probably means you need to bring something, some frozen raw meat, some meatballs, something that burger patties, whatever you can just take 15 minutes, 10 minutes and scarf down, or even throughout. It's like if you could just scarf down 3 meatballs and you have to go back to work, and hey, at least that's 3 meatballs or something. And so what me and Tom advocate for, and I think we've learned, is that fasting, I don't want to call it silly. It has its place and everything like that. But the more I learn, and Dr. Anthony Chaffee is really good on this too, and this is kind of his thing as well. Eating the right diet is a fasted state. Your body's just going to use what you put in it. And if you're hungry, it literally means that you need more if you're hungry.
And that could be small meals, like even big old John Anderson was on here saying, like, sometimes it's just a hard-boiled egg to him,
Yeah, hard-boiled egg, just whatever, as long as it's carnivore, and probably not something dairy because that might make you more hungry, But yeah, if it's solid meat or egg, yeah. So if I were you, my advice would be try to eat a bit more, even if you're not hitting the gym yet or not, because you want to also get your body used to that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're going to try and exercise and hit it and you're going to become exhausted, or you might end up ramping up cortisol or some other processes if you're not well fed before starting an exercise regimen.
So Joe, you're eating how often right now?
I'm still doing 2 meals a day.
And Emily? 1 meal a day.
That's just because I'm lazy. It's just because I'm lazy.
But you eat a nice amount of food, though. I mean,
I eat a half a pound of fat and half a pound of beef cuts, and then a pound of ground beef.
So that's a solid amount of food, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're 5'9", 5'8",
5'8", 140.
She's taller than me too.
God.
140 pounds.
Yeah, and so you're eating right now, Ben, according to what you told us, you're eating less than M, and 90% chance you're a male. And
on his thing he says he's 6'2", and he's my age. He's 43.
Right, and so I definitely would say you're under eating.
But if you're not sure, you can always get a fitness tracker to help you out.
I mean, we did a video talking about how much protein to eat. And, for me, I'll eat about 1.8 grams of protein per ideal body weight.
1.8 grams per kilogram?
Yeah.
So divide that by 2.2 for us
non-English.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing I recently learned, the leaner you are, probably the more you have to eat, just because your body actually takes more to maintain on a carnivore diet, just because your body's not filling up on so much. So I used to feel like a fat ass. Now I don't feel like that. And I'm just like, I'm hungry. I'm eating, and it's like I'm eating not every chance I get, but I try to.
Nobody looked at Justin ever and said you're a fat ass, except himself.
I got a little bit of the body dysmorphia, just a tad, just a touch.
Do you know any therapists?
A handful.
Perhaps you should talk to him about it.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah. No, just because I can eat and it's like ridiculous. And I felt bad. Like I honestly felt bad how much I could eat. Like I would force myself into fasting because I was like, no, you eat too much, you fat pig. Like, yeah, in the mirror.
I take the position that fasting is a powerful tool and it has its place. But I know, at least for me, like it's not a part of my daily lifestyle, Never get enough calories in. I mean, I can go eat 3 Flying Dutchmen and walk into the gym. I could eat the Flying Dutchman in the parking lot of the gym and walk in and work out. No problem.
And then walk out and eat 3 more Flying Dutchmen.
Thought about it. Wasn't willing to get back in line, but I almost
You
did that.
pre-order them.
yesterday.
Put them
Yeah,
in a heat bag.
Right? Just order 6 and eat 3 on the way in and 3 on the way out. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bummer because your gym pass can only get one of us in.
How you're quick enough. It says the rules say you can't hold the door for somebody. It doesn't mean somebody can't grab the door while it's closing.
I'll just tell them, look, I don't know the rules. I'm not from here.
No, when you guys come, I'll just ask them. They'll have some way arrangements. I was like, yeah, I got friends from out of town.
Joe could be on the bike. I'll be in the girls' locker room, and Tom will actually be hitting weights.
There is no girls' locker room.
Oh, it's co-gender then? Is it a non-binary locker room?
Right. There's no locker room.
Oh. Fine, I'll be in the non-binary restroom. How about that?
That'll be fine.
We should probably end this before I get fired from my job.
Hey, Stranded 360.
What up?
Yeah, nobody's eating tonight. I was like, normally, I think we should just eat during these because then we don't have to run out of here and eat right afterward.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Like literally,
We should wrap this up. I know he's hungry.
You know how people have like the pee-pee dance? I'm sitting here doing the hungry dance. I'm hungry.
Thanks for sharing.
And I have to pee.
Let me circle back to the whole thing about therapists. Well, anyways, yeah, we'll wrap this one up. We want to thank everybody for coming by and leaving some comments. Hopefully you guys can help us grow the channel. The like, the subscribe, the pass on the links. We appreciate it. We had a good time. It's nice to have people here to chat with. Sorry, Stranded 360. There's always next week. So
it was so good to talk to you guys.
It's great to have you here, Em. So
and anyway. Joe and Tom and our wonderful non-binary audience. Awesome.
Everybody gotta drag Ray's ass on to the next one.
Let's get Ray on. Everybody out there, eat some meat, feel better. And whatever you do,
don't
fall down the car.